sides progress to the third round of World Cup qualifying. Meanwhile, Antigua and Barbuda, they are in last in the group, but 3 points, depending on the results of the Honduras match later today, could send Antigua and Barbuda into the top two. Of course, Honduras taking on the Cayman Islands, so that result could definitely affect where these teams are placed. Just about ready to get a look at our starting lineups for the afternoon. For the hosts, Antigua and Barbuda, and the new headman, Jacques Passy. He makes a number of changes and a 5-back. The biggest addition, 2 additions from the MLS Next Pro ranks, Amir Daly and Drake Hadid, 2 youngsters who enter the fold. If you're looking for proven commodities, Raheem Detterville up front is definitely that. A pair of goals to his name in 19 international caps. The captains exchanging pleasantries. They are Luther Wilden for Antigua and Barbuda and Raiko Rosarena, the goalkeeper for Cuba. And here's your look at Unielis Castillo's 11. A few changes from the March fixture against Trinidad and Tobago. You see Raiko Rosarena still between the sticks. He's been the first choice for the last year or so. But as you move further up the pitch, there are some difference makers. For those familiar with the English game, Onel Hernandez, the former Norwich City man in the EFL Championship, is definitely a lad to watch. Well, we're just about ready to get things going. We await Quincy Williams' signal, and underway here from the island of Antigua, Cuba, in the red with the blue accents going from right to left on your screen. Antigua and Barbuda, the yellow with black numbers from left to right. 2023 Gold Cup. Fortunately, the 24-25 Nations League was a bit of a frustrating one for his bunch, relegated to League B and failing to qualify for the Gold Cup. Rabayo, excellent link up to the edge of the area. It's not a bad effort. No deflection, though, according to our linesman. Very experienced and battle-tested. Ten minutes gone, still no score between Antigua and Barbuda and Cuba. We thank you for joining us here this afternoon, 3 p.m. local time in Antigua. One-way traffic so far. An effort from afar. Tajmore all over it, but not a bad pop from Pedro Bravo. Detterville gives chase. Well, keep your eye on 7 in the yellow and black kits. Already mentioned his domestic success, someone who's the back-to-back Antiguan and Barbudan Premier Division top scorer, 42 goals in league play in the last 2 years. Rabayo, he's sent tumbling, and this is a free kick in a very appetizing position for Cuba. First yellow shown to an Antigua and Barbuda player, Amir Daly.
And now a yellow card issued to number 9 of Antigua Barbuda in the 22nd minute of play.
Hernandez to take. It is right into the bottom of the wall, and no issues for Antigua and Barbuda. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. Rabayo trying to collect that vertical ball. It was well timed by Tajmore off his line. Has been the story of things. Cuba knocking it about with relative confidence, but very little incision that has been associated with their possession. Floated ball to the edge of the area. It falls for Hadid. Maybe caught between 2 minds. No one in yellow there to finish it off. Well, set piece is also a point of danger for Cuba to monitor. Will be Diego Catasus, the 20-year-old, to take. We are now beyond the 7 minutes. Hooked towards the back post and knocked in! Cuba strikes on the precipice of halftime, and it's Pedro Bravo opening the scoring. Well, just what the doctor ordered for Los Leones del Caribe. Flashing very little incision in the final third, but this is a perfect set piece. Bravo running onto it with impeccable timing and clattering it into the top left. A first international goal for Bravo and a first for Cuba this afternoon. Into the regular national team of late on just his 5th cap as his first international tally. Cuba 1, Antigua and Barbuda 0. Is there an instant retort before intermission? Decent ball from Morgan. Comes out to Robayo, and that is where we leave things. So a first half that was rather unassuming for large spells has a very emphatic ending. Pedro Bravo opening the scoring with almost the last kick of the half in the 52nd minute to give Cuba a 1-0 advantage before the break. Dynamic wing presence is replaced by Sean Tomlinson, an attacking midfielder who plays for Giants Grenades FC in the Antiguan and Barbudan top flight. Well, we are back underway. It is the hosts now going right to left on your screen. It is the visitors going from left to right. And as things stand, the latter of which will definitely be the more pleased of the two sides. A direct effort off the kickoff, though, and Dennerville at least gave chase to that. For neutral viewing, I think watching the first half, you'd be best served with a Cuba opener as you... Well, entering today, an 11-match winless run dating back to late 2023 in all comps for Antigua and Barbuda. As things stand, that is set to continue. And it would be a pretty devastating break. In fact, it would be a 6th defeat in the last 7, dating back to the start of the Nations League play. First ever time Antigua and Barbuda was relegated from League B. Had spent the previous 4 campaigns in that division. This is loose to Dennerville. Has a pop. Deflection took the sting out of it. Stabbed away with relative aplomb by Bravo. And Aguirre definitely touched that with his hand. And now some extra. Well, Aguirre is trying to win a free kick. He goes down far too easy. And then his reaction after the fact is, well, a bit extra to say the least. Perhaps fortunate to get off without a booking there. This is a very decent spot for Antigua and Barbuda to cause some trouble. Drake Hadid, 17-year-old who plays for Carolina Core in MLS Next Pro, stands over this. Hadid dinks it in. Stabbed away by Bravo. Only as far as Hadid. Shrugged off it now by Alessio Robayo, who does have options on the break. Inside the final 4 minutes of the added 7. And at this point, I think Cuba is content to knock it about and play some keep away. Martin takes an elbow to the face. A card is brandished, and it's red. Leroy Graham has been giving his marching orders in the tail end of this. Well, it's definitely, oh yes, a forearm across the face. It appears rather unnecessary, although Graham's reaction seemed to indicate he didn't know what happened. Either way, he is given a premature shower with just 3 minutes remaining in added time. And there is the full-time whistle. Cuba claims a desperately needed 3 points, and they surge into the top 2 of the Group A table. Their hopes of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup remain alive and well for the time being. Meanwhile, Antigua and Barbuda, the journey comes to an unfortunate conclusion.